Ladies and gentlemen, this is your NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver preview and predictions here today on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Thank you all for joining us so much for talking about NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. We got a big week ahead of us this week, man. We have NXT Takeover Wednesday night and Thursday night, which I believe now you can watch Wednesday night's Takeover on Peacock. It's going to be on Peacock and the USA Network, I believe. But we got 5 matches to talk about each night. 5 matches on night 1 and 5 matches on night 2. I'm looking forward to a lot of matches on both nights. And ladies and gentlemen, here with me today, he is my co-host for the NXT reviews here on the Big Fight Fuel channel, and I brought him on here today for him to give you his insights and his takes on the matches happening Wednesday night and Thursday night at NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Cameron Johnson, man, how are you today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
You ready? Yeah. So, you ready to go with this NXT Takeover on Wednesday and Thursday night?
I'm ready. I'm looking forward to this takeover show. This takeover card is absolutely stacked. If it's not the most stacked takeover card of all time, it's definitely, I think, in the running. I definitely think it's in the running. It's either this show, Takeover New York, which is absolutely stacked, or Takeover New Orleans. I know that show is also stacked too. So if it's not the most stacked takeover card of all time, I think it's one of them.
Yeah, I think that Takeover New York is the best takeover of all time, but Takeover New Orleans has the best card of all time, in my opinion, for NXT. But this is an absolutely stacked card, especially night 2. Night 2, I think, looks better than night 1 for me personally, but night 1, that does not look bad at all. And we are going to start with night 1 of NXT TakeOver predictions. We're going to get right into it here today on the video. The first match we are going to talk about is the Gauntlet Eliminator match, which was determined this past week on NXT. We have Leon Ruff, Isaiah Scott, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and L.A. Knight. That is the order of the Gauntlet Eliminator match at TakeOver. I think this is very predictable. Obviously, Johnny has been in a storyline with Dexter Lumis the past couple weeks, with Lumis kidnapping Theory and Theory being possessed and all that stuff. So, I am absolutely going to take Dexter Lumis in this match. I think it's going to come down to him and LA Knight once again. And I think that Lumis is going to put LA Knight to sleep. And Lumis is going to move on to night 2 and face off against Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. So, to start off the video here today, I'm going to say that Dexter Lumis wins the Gauntlet Eliminator. And I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. I don't think it's a surprise to you either, Cam. So I'm going to hand the floor over to you for this Gauntlet Eliminator match at TakeOver Stand and Deliver on night 1.
Dexter Lumis is my pick to win also. He's my pick to win also. You know, it's been pretty obvious since going back to New Year's Evil. Because, you know, Dexter Lumis he's pretty much been a pain in the ass. He's pretty much been a pain in the ass for Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano cannot seem to get away from, you know, He cannot seem to get away from Dexter Lumis, and it's been pretty obvious. It's been pretty obvious since New Year's Evil that this is the match that we were getting, and this is where we're heading. Dexter Lumis, I think, has to win the title. I think Dexter Lumis. I know some people don't like Dexter Lumis. They just don't get the gimmick, or they think the gimmick. They just don't get They just don't think the character, they just don't get the character. They think the character sucks, which is fun, which is perfectly fine. Which is perfectly fine, but which is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own, everybody has their own and different taste. But in my opinion, I think Dexter Lumis is great. I think the way he's been booked in NXT has been absolutely magnificent. And I think if Dexter Lumis does not win the NXT North American Championship, I think Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and Triple H, I think they need to get their head examined because to me, I think that's one a pretty obvious choice to win the NXT North American Championship.
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
going
I
with
agree.
Lumis.
I agree. I mean, I am not. Well, I mean, we'll obviously get to Johnny Gargano's match later on night two, but for me, I am not the biggest Dexter Loomis guy. He's a good wrestler. I don't really get the gimmick that much, but I don't hate him, but to me, he's not. He's not my cup of tea, as to many people's are. But I mean, that's okay, like you said, because people have they're separate and different opinions, so that is perfectly fine with me. Next up, we're moving on to a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team titles. We have the Grizzled Young Veterans, Legado del Fantasma, and MSK. Now, this should be a very good match. Since I talked about the last match first, Cam, I am going to hand the floor over to you first, actually, and I want to hear what you have to say about this triple threat tag team title match and who you have winning.
Well, I think this triple threat tag team title match is going to be very good. I don't really like how they just announced. No, I just don't. I don't really like how they announced that they're doing a triple threat tag team title match. I think they could have. I think they could have done more to build. I think they could have done more to build up this match here between these three guys. Between these three guys, but it is what it is. We're getting it, but it is what it is. In terms of who wins here, I was gonna say MSK because I think MSK got screwed over. Got screwed over for the tag team titles, and I think MSK will probably. If MSK were facing Imperium on the show, which is probably what was not Imperium, but if they were facing Morgan and Birch, which is probably what was supposed to happen until Danny Birch went down with an injury. I would have said MSK is probably one of the tag team titles, but but the fact that they have Grizzly Young Veterans in this match, I think you put the titles on GYV and you have MSK chase for the tag, and you have MSK chase the tag team titles. The baby face, traditionally the baby faces usually chase the titles anyway. I think putting those titles on the Grizzly Young Veterans, I think that's the right move in NXT. I think that's the right move. I think they deserve the titles. And you could always have MSK win the tag. You could always have MSK win the tag titles, SummerSlam weekend or on another night. I don't think it's going to kill MSK if you don't put the tag team titles on them. But I think with Grizzly Young Veterans, it's either you shit, for to use a metaphor, it's either you shit or get off the pot with the Grizzly Young Veterans. And so I think GYV should probably win the tag team titles here. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Grizzly Young Vets win the tag team titles, and MSK win them from GYV at a later date.
That's very interesting, right there. That you have GYV winning the match and capturing the tag team titles. They are probably my favorite tag team in the entire WWE. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. They are probably my favorite tag team in the WWE. But I think we all know that Legado del Fantasma, they are in this match because they're going to be taking the pin. They are going to be taking the pin in this match, and they are not winning the tag team titles at TakeOver. But for me, I'm going MSK. They are the definition of NXT. Not the definition, but they kind of feel like the old NXT to me. They are fast paced. They have a lot of charisma. People love MSK, and I think it's their time. I think the Grizzled Young Veterans is still going to feud with MSK. I would love to see the Grizzled Young Veterans beat the tag team champions. I would not have a problem if they win it at all. But I think we get that big babyface moment where MSK, they capture the tag titles by pinning Legado del Fantasma, and then we can transition into a feud with MSK and the Grizzled Young Veterans for the tag team titles whenever the next takeover is. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm going with MSK. It's their time. They're on a hot streak right now, and I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to stop that by having them not pick up the titles here. So I was very interested. I was very surprised when you took GYV to win this match, but I'm gonna take MSK to win the tag team titles at Takeover. We then had a match that was just announced this past Wednesday. This past Wednesday on NXT, we have Kushida going 1-on-1 with Pete Dunne. Don't sleep on this match, folks. Kushida is absolutely great at what he does, and Pete Dunne is magnificent. This should be an excellent technical wrestling match. Kushida says he is one of the best technical wrestlers. Pete Dunne says he's the best technical wrestler in the entire world. So we'll have to see who is really the best technical wrestler at TakeOver. I think these guys are going to tear the absolute house down. It sucks that there's really no story behind this match, I guess, besides who's the better wrestler. But they're giving you a nice match here with Kushida and Pete Dunne. Hopefully this match gets time. I would actually not mind if this was the opening match to take over on night one, because they could set the tone for the entire night, in my opinion. But I'm going with... This is a tough one, honestly, because both guys really need wins, and because they're suffering from big losses at TakeOver Vengeance Day. Kushida lost to Gargano, and Pete Dunne lost to Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Both guys could really use a win here. Jeez. I'm going to take Dunne to win. I'm going to go with Pete Dunne to pull it out at the end, and NXT could possibly line him up as a challenger for the North American title some point down the line. So I'm going to go with Pete Dunne to win this match. It should be an excellent, excellent match, I think, Cameron. So I'm going to give it to you on your takes on Kushida and Pete Dunne on night one of TakeOver.
I agree with you there. I think Kushida and Pete Dunne. I think this is going to be an excellent match. In terms of what opens the show, I think it's either this or the Gauntlet Eliminator that opens the show. I would not mind. I would love for this match to open the show. Like you said, I think these two men could go out there and have one of the best opening matches, not just in TakeOver history, but in WWE history. I think these two guys have potential to go out there and put on an opening match. Not maybe on the level, but very similar to Bret vs. Owen from WrestleMania 10. The Bret vs. Owen from WrestleMania 10, Triple H vs. Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30, or even recently Seth Rollins versus The Miz from Backlash 2018. These two guys have potential to go out there and put on one of the best opening matches in WWE history, not just TakeOver history. So I'm very much looking forward to this match here. In terms of wins here, I do agree with you that both Pete Dunne and Kushida need a big win. But to me, it's about who needs this win more. And I look at who needs this win more. I think Kushida needs this win more, to be perfectly honest with you. Kushida went from being a guy who was the most protected guy, who's the most protected guy, it felt like, in the entire company. The only two people more protected than Kushida were Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. Like, that's what it honestly felt like with Kushida. And now it feels like Kushida lost to Johnny Gargano. He lost to Santos Escobar. He lost to Santos Escobar in the build-up to NXT. And he lost, not Santos Escobar, excuse me. He lost to Jordan Devlin in the build-up to TakeOver. So in terms of who needs this win more, I think Kushida needs to win more. I think if Pete Dunne loses, I think it will hurt Pete Dunne, but I think Pete Dunne will be eventually fine. But I think Kushida needs this win badly. So I'm going with Kushida.
The sad thing about Kushida is, dude, like what you saw at TakeOver, the last TakeOver, what you saw with him facing Jordan Devlin, unfortunately, that's probably his ceiling in WWE in NXT because I don't see Kushida competing for a top title in NXT. I don't even see him being the North American champion anytime soon. Maybe the cruiserweight champion. I don't know, but it sucks because Kushida is much better than where he's at, in my opinion. I don't know if you
I
agree with me on that one, but
I, I don't know. I agree with Rashida. Rashida's very talented. And, one thing I didn't understand why NXT did not do, maybe he didn't, maybe they tried to do it, but he refused the offer at the time. But I don't understand why NXT did not try to bring in Alex Shelley, reform the time splitters in NXT, and have Alex Shelley and Kushida be really the top tag team down there. I think that would have been a great use of Kushida, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe they did try to do that, but Alex Shelley didn't want. Maybe they did try to do that, but Alex Shelley refused the NXT offer at the time. That's always possible. But I just don't understand why. If Alex Shelley was willing to come in, I don't understand why they didn't sign Alex Shelley and reform the time split, especially in 2021. Their tag team division desperately could have needed them.
I absolutely agree. That's actually a great point. But Alex Shelley is in Impact Wrestling right now. I think he's on the shelf right now, injured. So yeah, that would have been I would have been fine with them being a tag team together in NXT. But yeah, I'm going with Pete Dunne, and Cameron is going with Kushida. Next, we have the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Oh my God, dude! I told you on the last on the go home NXT review and the last NXT review. This is the match I am looking forward to the most on all of WrestleMania week. On AEW, what they're doing next week, night one of TakeOver, night two of TakeOver, even WrestleMania. This is the match I'm looking forward to all week. I am so excited for this match, dude. Go ahead.
uh, Tommaso Ciampa and Walter. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be two guys going in there beating the crap out of each other. And at the end of the day, when you got two guys going in there beating the crap out of each other, I don't understand as a wrestling fan how you could not love seeing that. How you could not love seeing that. This match is going to be off the chart. This match is going to be off the chart. This match is going to be off the chart. It's definitely going to be this is going to be I use the term barn burner classic a lot in Twitter as a joke. On Twitter as a joke, especially on Twitter as a joke, especially when you have a match that sucked. Especially when you have a match that sucked, I call it a barn burner classic. But in no joking terms here, this match is going to be a barn burner classic. This match is going to be a barn burner classic. This is easily going to be a match of the year contender. I think. And if you're worried about this match on the commercials, if they're airing this on Peacock, like my good brother Joseph said at the start of the review, watch this match on Peacock. That's what I'm probably going to do. That's what I'm probably going to have to do because I don't want this match to be interrupted by anything, no commercials at all. This is going to be absolutely hard hitting. It's going to be a great drag out affair. In terms of the wins here, I think Walter obviously gets the win here. You're not taking the championship off Walter and putting it on Ciampa. So Walter gets the win here. But in terms of what happens, I think we see Timothy Thatcher return on this show. And I think Timothy Thatcher joins Imperium. He costs Ciampa the NXT UK title. He helps Walter retain, and I think Timothy Thatcher is going to be a fine addition to Imperium. And to be honest with you, I think Timothy Thatcher needs to be in a group like Imperium because the guy, even though I'm a big Timothy Thatcher fan, how he goes in there and just beats the crap out of people. A lot of people do consider Timothy Thatcher to be very plain, and very boring. So I think putting him in a group like Imperium is the best thing you could do for Timothy Thatcher. So I think Walter wins, and I think Timothy Thatcher joins Imperium here.
Yeah, first off, I'm probably gonna watch this show on Peacock because I don't want the entire I don't want my NXT takeover to have commercials in it at all. But it's Tommaso Ciampa. The guy always shows up when it comes to Takeover. Walter, we've seen him have some great matches on Takeover with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Who could forget that match? But I'm very excited about this match. This is going to be hard hitting, like you said. And nothing is better than seeing two guys beat the absolute crap out of each other in a hard hitting match. We know Tommaso Ciampa is going to suffer through a couple of Walter's chops, which, God bless Tommaso Ciampa for that one. Um, but I think if we could get Psycho Killer Ciampa in this match, I think it'll take it up it'll take it up a notch. And like I said, like you said, Timothy Thatcher has been absent the past couple weeks on NXT television. We have not seen him at all. I do think he shows up in this match. He will act like he's there to support Ciampa, but at the end, he is going to stab him in the back. He's actually going to help Walter win, and Timothy Thatcher is going to join Imperium, which is the best for him. Now, could this mean that Imperium is going to kick out Alexander Wolf? Because we have not seen him in a couple weeks as well. I don't know about that one. I honestly don't know, but I think if it's Thatcher joining Imperium, it could be very good for him, and I think it's much needed. I really do. So this just know, folks, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. I'm so excited for it, and it's going to be really good. I'm going with I'm obviously going with Walter to retain, and then we have the main event of night one of NXT Takeover. We have Raquel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Raquel has obviously been strapped to the moon by Triple H for about 6 months now. If you think about it, she's been strapped for a very long time, and I think it's obvious the time has come for Io Shirai. She has met her expiration date as to when she drops the NXT Women's Championship. I think these two are going to have a great match, a good story, and Raquel Gonzalez is going to end up winning the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Io Shirai's time is up, and Raquel is going to be the new women's champion. I'm going with Raquel Gonzalez to win this match. Cameron, who you got in the main event for the NXT Women's Championship to wrap up night one?
I'm going with Raquel Gonzalez also. She's had a rocket strapped to her for a while. She's had a rocket strapped to her for a while. And to be honest with you, I think it's long overdue. I think they should have put the championship on Io. Not Io, sorry, but they should have put the championship on Raquel at TakeOver Vengeance Day. On TakeOver Vengeance Day after that great match Raquel and Rhea had, and when Raquel had a lot of momentum at the time. I think she's lost. I think she's lost some of that momentum. But I think she's lost some of that momentum. But I think Raquel Gonzalez is going to win here. Raquel Gonzalez, I think, is the correct. Raquel Gonzalez, I think, is the correct winner to take that championship. To take that championship off of Io Shirai. So that's something I can't wait for. So that's something I really can't wait for. I think you have a number of options with Raquel. With her as NXT Women's Champion. One of them, which I think is the most likely to happen, is I think Raquel Gonzalez likely goes babyface after winning the NXT Women's title.
Yep.
And I think Io Shirai is getting caught up to the main roster after. And let's all say a prayer for Io Shirai getting caught up to the main roster. So I'll say a nice little prayer for Io Shirai. Although the prayer probably won't work. Because I think God is still salty about losing to Vince McMahon at Backlash in 2006. So although the prayer won't work, let's pray anyway. Io Shirai is going to need all the prayer she can get going up to the main roster. going up to the main roster.
Yep. She's probably going to be on her way up sooner rather than later, because after she loses the title, what's there really going to be for Io Shirai to do in NXT? She was the women's champion for a goddamn 10 months. So, and I think it's 10 months, and she's probably going to be heading up to the main roster. I would like to see her. I mean, if I had to pick a brand, possibly SmackDown. I would like to see her mix it up with Bayley in a one-on-one match. That could be easily an excellent match. I would like to see her go at it with Sasha Banks again, maybe Bianca Belair. If you had to choose a brand for her, I would say SmackDown, but I hopefully Io Shirai doesn't end up like Asuka on Monday Night Raw, who has green makeup on her face and an unforgettable reign as the Raw Women's Champion. You guys know it all with Asuka and her run on Monday Night Raw. It's been not great. That's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, I think Raquel Gonzalez wins the Women's Championship to close Night 1 of NXT TakeOver. So, you ready to get into Night 2?
Hang on a minute.
All right.
Hang on a minute before we get to Night 2. Let me get my charger, and we can get into Night 2.
All right, while you're getting your charger, I will talk about the first match on Night 2. We have the NXT Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match with Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin in a unification match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Obviously, Jordan Devlin is coming back to America because of the pandemic. He muted himself. It's all good. But I'll still continue to talk to you guys. Jordan Devlin, he was the old Cruiserweight champion, won the title at Worlds Collide of 2020, and then the pandemic hit. He had to go back to Ireland. He was defending the title on NXT UK. I don't watch NXT UK, but he was defending the title on there. And he's now back, and Santos Escobar is the Cruiserweight champion now, I guess. But we'll have to see who the true Cruiserweight champion is at TakeOver, and I think a ladder match honestly fits perfect for these guys because, like we said last week on the NXT review, this is very similar to Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship when both guys were the Intercontinental Champion, and they fought each other at WrestleMania, put the titles up for grabs, literally up for grabs, and it's very similar to this. I am going to go with, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Jordan Devlin. And the reason I'm going to go with Jordan Devlin in this match is because, to me, Escobar, he's back, I think. Santos Escobar is better than the Cruiserweight division. So I think he can go up, move down from the Cruiserweight division and, move on to bigger and better things, maybe the North American title, maybe the NXT championship. But I'm going to go with Jordan Devlin to win this unification ladder match and grab the Cruiserweight championship at TakeOver. Cameron, he is back from getting his charger. Who do you have winning the unification ladder match at TakeOver? Jordan Devlin or Santos Escobar?
I think the winner has to be Jordan Devlin here. I do. I think Jordan Devlin has won the NXT Cruiserweight Championship here. I love Santos Escobar. I think Santos Escobar is he's so above the Cruiserweight division, and I don't know if they see Santos Escobar at an NXT title level. I don't know if they see him like that, but there's no reason why Santos Escobar can't be mixing it up with the can't be mixing it can't be challenging for the North American title. I think leaving Escobar in the cruiserweight title scene, I think it would be wrong, and I think Jordan Devlin should get the win here. Santos Escobar, he's done all he can do in the cruiserweight division. Move him on up to the NXT North American title situation. Move him up to the NXT North American title situation, and leave Legado del Fantasma with him. But I'm in agreement with you, man. I'm in agreement with you, man. I think Santos Escobar needs to win that one. So I'm going with Santos. I mean, not Santos. I'm sorry. I'm in Jordan Devlin. Not Santos Escobar. I'm in Jordan Devlin. I think Jordan Devlin wins here, and Santos moves on to bigger and better things.
Now, with Jordan Devlin winning, Santos has literally beaten everybody in the division. Who could possibly challenge Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship down the line in NXT outside of maybe the only guy I can really think of is Kushida right now?
I think with Jordan Devlin, in terms of the names you build up, maybe we see how big, how much does Leon Ruff weigh? Leon Ruff can be possibly more than 200 pounds. Not disrespecting Leon Ruff, he possibly can't weigh more than 200 pounds. Maybe we put Leon Ruff in this position. Maybe you put Leon Ruff in this position. I've heard rumors that Mansoor, maybe you put Mansoor in there. We get some Devlin Mansoor matches. I don't know what they're doing with Mansoor. Mansoor is very good. Maybe we get some Devlin Mansoor matches. Maybe he does a thing where he travels back and forth between NXT and NXT UK. Maybe he puts the Cruiserweight Championship on the line in NXT. Maybe he goes over to NXT UK and wrestles some of the guys down there. So I don't know what you do with Jordan Devlin as Cruiserweight Champion, but I'm sure there are options, and I'm sure the good people at NXT will figure it out. Hopefully they figure it out, because Santos Escobar needs to be above the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. You bring up about Mansoor, because I don't know if a lot of people know this. I found out like last week, I think, but apparently Mansoor has a 40-0 record in the WWE. He has not lost a match. So maybe if NXT starts putting Mansoor on TV, they build up him as a possible guy to take the championship off of Jordan Devlin whenever they decide to take the title off of him. But as for this takeover match, Jordan Devlin needs to win, and Santos Escobar needs to be involved, and bigger and better things, in my opinion, because he is just better than the Cruiserweight division. So I'm going with Jordan Devlin, and Cam is going with Jordan Devlin as well.
I see what they're doing with Mansoor. They giving Mansoor that Goldberg streak. He gonna get a 183-0. I see what they're doing with Mansoor. Give it up, Mansoor. Keep that winning streak up.
We have the women's tag team titles with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell against Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. I don't really care about this match at all. We've seen this match a bunch of times on NXT. Yeah, it should be a fine match, whatever. But I don't really care about it. I don't care about the women's tag team titles. So I'm going to go with Shotzi and Ember Moon to retain the women's tag team titles, just because they just won the titles a couple weeks ago on NXT. So, Mr. Johnson, the floor is yours on this match with the Way, Ember Moon, and Shotzi Blackheart.
I agree with you there. I think Shotzi and Ember retain. No reason to take the championship off Shotzi and Ember when they just won the title. You just did two title changes. You just did two title changes with those titles, and you did them fairly quickly. Raquel and Dakota Kai were tag team champions for all the 45 minutes, I believe, before they dropped the titles right to Shotzi and Ember. I think doing another tag team title change that'd be the wrong choice. I think that'd be a bit of overkill. So I say you keep the championships on Shotzi and Ember. So I say you keep the championships on Shotzi and Ember, and hopefully you build up that thing. We talked in the NXT. No, we talked in the NXT review on. We talked in the NXT review. I'd love for him to build up Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black, who's now Corey Jade in it, who's now Corey Jade in NXT. I love to see those women get built, and I love to see those women get built up. Still got Casey Catanzaro and Kate and Carter. If those two women don't split, I'd love to see them built up. Heck, even Xia Li and that 1,000-year-old. Heck, even Xia Li and that 1,000-year-old lady she got. Maybe build them up in the tag. Maybe build them up in the NXT tag team titles. But no reason to take the titles off Shotzi.
Yeah, I agree. Shotzi number for the win here. It should be a fine match. And then we have the North American Championship, which is going to be the winner of the Gauntlet Eliminator, which we both predicted Dexter Loomis against Johnny Gargano. And we basically both talked about this when we were at the Gauntlet Eliminator match on night one. Dexter Loomis is winning the North American Championship from Johnny Gargano. I think it's been pretty clear now for a long time that Loomis would be the guy to take the title off of Johnny Gargano. That is going to happen. Where Johnny Gargano and the way he goes from here, I have no idea. But Dexter Loomis is going to win the North American Championship. I could see him defending the title against guys like Cameron Grimes, Bronson Reed, maybe Pete Dunne. There's a lot of possibilities for Dexter Loomis. Heck, maybe Finn Balor if he loses the NXT Championship. Maybe he tries to take a crack at the North American title. But I'm going with Dexter Loomis to win the North American title. No question, no questions asked. Cameron, who do you got? I guarantee you got the same person as I do winning this match.
No, you're absolutely right about that. It's Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis, I think, needs to be NXT North American champion. To be honest with you, I think the NXT North American Championship needs to come away from Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano as North American champion has not been doing it for me. And I understand that they got in. I understand that they got him in this heel. I understand that they got him in this heel role, and his credit, Johnny Gargano has been very entertaining. He's been very entertaining as cowardly. He's been very entertaining as the cowardly prick-like heel, on NXT. He's been very entertaining in that role. But to me, Johnny Gargano, this run for him as North American champion. I don't know about you, Joseph, but this ain't doing it for me. This ain't doing it for me. I say the sooner you get the championship on Johnny Gargano, the better. So I think Dexter Loomis needs to win. You got a lot of you got challengers for Dexter Loomis after he wins it, but I think Loomis needs to win, and that championship needs to come off Gargano immediately because this ain't doing it.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And now I want to get to the next match. We have unsanctioned Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, unsanctioned match. This has been an excellent feud so far, and I am going to get your takes on it first. I want to give the floor to you first about this match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver. This should be an excellent match.
This build-up has been absolutely phenomenal. This is going to be an excellent match. I'm calling Kyle O'Reilly. Whenever they're in the ring together, they have great matches. They had great matches back in ROH. They had great matches back in ROH. And I expect this to be no different. This is going to be a great match. This is going to be a great match. And I'm hoping with this unsanctioned match here, these two guys are given free reigns to beat the piss out of each other all over the building. I love those kind of matches I love those kind of hardcore matches when they just brawl. When they brawl all over the building. I'm hoping they get free reign out of Cole and Kyle O'Reilly here. I think this should be the main event. Just because it's the most anticipated match of the entire show. The build-up has been great. If you think the NXT title match should be the main event because the world title should always be main event, then I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you. I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you there. Put that match in the main event, fine. But me personally, I think this match should be the main event. This feels like more of a main event. Or this feels more like of a main event here. But these guys are gonna go in there. They're gonna kill it. There's no wins here. I think Kyle O'Reilly has to win. I think Kyle O'Reilly has to beat Adam Cole. The story going into this match is that Adam Cole is that Adam Cole was going on and on about how he created the Undisputed Era, and how if it wasn't for me, this group of faction would not have done. Now, this group of faction wouldn't have done wouldn't have done anything, and I'd still be here, and I'd still be here, but you guys would, but you guys, but the rest of you guys would not be here, but the rest of you guys would not be here in NXT. I would have went on to be a big star anyway, because this entire faction revolves around me. I was the moneymaker of the group. I sold the most merch this time third. So I think Kyle O'Reilly has to win here to shut Adam Cole up. For Kyle O'Reilly to prove that, for Kyle O'Reilly to kind of prove to Adam Cole, for Kyle O'Reilly to kind of prove to Adam Cole that you're not, that you're not the guy. The section that revolves around you. This is all, this is a group effort, and I can do it. This is a group effort, and I can do it. I can beat you for that title. Not the title, but I can beat you, and I don't need you anymore, Adam Cole. So I think Kyle O'Reilly has to get the win here. Adam Cole loses, he'll be fine. Adam Cole's tough line. He's bulletproof.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think O'Reilly desperately needs to win.
Yeah, but sad thing for Adam Cole is I do think this will be his last match in NXT. It has been rumored for a long time now that Vince McMahon wants Adam Cole, not the rest of the Undisputed. He specifically wants Adam Cole. So they had to figure a way how to do that, and they split up the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole's in this rivalry with Kyle O'Reilly, which has been damn excellent. I expect this match at TakeOver to be violent. I expect them to fight all over the CWC. There's barely a lot of this in NXT, but I expect blood in this match. And I agree. Kyle O'Reilly pulls out victorious in this match. He's going to shut Adam Cole up, be like, I don't need you anymore. And then you work Kyle O'Reilly up and up the ranks in NXT until he gets to the NXT Championship. And by 2021, the end of 2021, maybe the summer, he will be the NXT champion, in my opinion. But this is probably everybody's most anticipated match on TakeOver. This match, just because of the story and the rivalry and the turn that happened at the last TakeOver. It should be incredible, violent. I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly, and I also expect Roderick Strong to play a key role in this match as well. I don't know what it's going to be, but he will probably be involved in this match. But I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly. And Adam Cole, say your prayers just like Io Shirai, because Adam Cole's going up to the main roster after this.
I don't know if I really agree with that, Joe. I don't know if I really agree with that. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Cole goes to the main roster right after WrestleMania, and if he does, then I just wasted however long I'm about to say this, just saying this, and I look stupid, which is probably the case. Which would probably be the case because more often than not, which is probably the case because more often than not, I look stupid. More often than not, I look stupid. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we ever see Adam Cole on the main roster. I think Adam Cole may pull a Johnny Gargano or Tommaso Ciampa and just go, no, I'm good. I know you want me on the main roster, Vince, but I'm good. I'm good right here. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here if possible.
I hope
if that doesn't happen. I'm not going to be surprised, but I just think that's what's more likely to happen with Adam Cole.
Yeah, trust me, dude. I hope that Adam Cole is NXT forever, and he pulls a Johnny Gargano, he pulls a Tommaso Ciampa, but it just feels like what is going to be him for do after all of this, and with the Vince McMahon wanting him rumors for a long time, I could see him showing up on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw, whichever the case. I would put him on SmackDown, but I could see Adam Cole having his last match in NXT. And we're going to get to the main event here right now. And I'm going to try to tie Kyle O'Reilly into this. We have Mr. Karrion Kross going up against Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Build hasn't really gotten me excited for this match at all. It's been okay, I think. It just seems so predictable that Karrion Kross is winning the championship here. Finn Balor is dropping the title, and then I would build up Kyle O'Reilly and have him be the one to take the title off of Cross. But as for this match, it should be a very good match, I hope. But I'm 100% going with Karrion Cross to win the NXT title.
We are in agreement once again. I think Karrion Cross. I think it's been obvious. I think it's been obvious since Karrion Cross came back that he had that. I think it's been obvious since he came back that Karrion Cross is winning the NXT title. He's winning the NXT title. He's taking it from Finn Balor. And you tie Kyle O'Reilly into this. I'm going to tie Kyle O'Reilly and Walter into this if you don't mind.
Okay.
So what I think is going to happen here is I think Karrion Cross wins the NXT title. Maybe at the next Takeover show we get Karrion Cross and Kyle O'Reilly with Cross winning, and then that leads into a Karrion Cross Walter feud. With Walter, with the whole build up, for that match, Walter's getting bored. Walter, you could have Walter come out, one night, get a promo on Karrion Cross going, I'm bored. I've been NXT UK champion for like 1,000 years, and at this point, I'm bored. There's nobody down there who's going to be able to take this championship off me, so I want to come down here. So I'm going to come down here and see. So I'm going to come here and see if you can step up to the challenge. Put your NXT title on the line while you're at it. I think Walter's going to win. I think Walter's going to win the NXT title this year. I think he's going to go for Karrion Cross. And I think Takeover WrestleMania weekend next year, we're going to get Walter and O'Reilly for the NXT championship, with O'Reilly winning the championship there. Or with O'Reilly winning the championship there. Those are two possible routes I could see them going down. Cross versus O'Reilly, with O'Reilly winning the championship SummerSlam weekend, and Cross going up to the main roster afterwards, or they pull that way, or they go down that Walter route, But either way, I think Karrion Cross is going to be NXT champion, and Karrion Cross is getting that championship on Kyle O'Reilly one way or another. That championship is going to KO.
That's a bold prediction, man. So you have what happens with the UK title then?
The NXT UK title, maybe you have Walter hold with the NXT UK. Maybe you have Walter hold both championships. Maybe you have Walter hold both championships. Maybe Ilya Dragunov or I don't really watch NXT UK, so maybe Ilya Dragunov or A-Kid or Rampage Brown. I know they've been building up. I think they've been building up A-Kid. Maybe they take the championship off Walter. Maybe they take the championship off Walter. Maybe Walter does a thing where he's both the NXT and NXT UK champion, but Walter loses the NXT UK championship out there, or Walter has to be stripped of the NXT UK championship. Maybe that's the route they go down, but I think that's what happens with the NXT UK title if you do that scenario.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's a definitely bold prediction that you just threw out there, but I'm going to say that Kyle O'Reilly is going to be the one to take down Karrion Cross either in the summer or the end of 2021. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up your NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver predictions. I want to thank each and every one of you who tuned into the video today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest of this week's content. You are not going to want to miss it. We have an absolutely loaded week for you guys. I can't wait for it. Comment down below your thoughts about give me all your predictions on both nights for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. I want to know all of your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button if you like what myself and Cameron Johnson said in the preview and predictions today. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. Cam, where can they follow you on Twitter, man?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. I talk pro wrestling, the NBA, and pretty much whatever comes to my mind, and pretty much whatever I feel like talking about on Twitter. So you can find me on there at Cam71101.
And be sure not to miss his podcast this coming week. I will be on his podcast. Can't wait for it. We're going to talk about old WrestleManias, what should have happened if the card was fine and all that stuff. I'm very excited for it, Cam. I'm very excited to be on your podcast next week.
Very excited to have you on, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm very excited to have you on, and it's going to be a fun show. WrestleMania week's gonna be a big week for the. It's gonna be a big week for the CNE podcast, and it starts with Joseph making an appearance on the show. So make sure you don't miss that. Available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are available.
Hey man, if you wanna promote everything that's going to be happening on your podcast next week, you can go ahead and promote it right now if you want.
So make sure on Tuesday you check out the WrestleMania Would You Rather with Joseph and Bonafide E. And then make sure on Thursday. Before WrestleMania weekend, you check out before WrestleMania itself. You check out the WrestleMania predictions. Well, you check out the WrestleMania predictions with the old friend of mine, Stuart Lawson. Make sure you check that out, and also make sure you check out WrestleMania Night 1. Make sure you check out the WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 review. Night 1, we're gonna have a special guest. Night 2 is just gonna be me. Escobar, and Kyle. So make sure. You definitely won't want to miss what's going to be a big week for the CNE podcast next week, WrestleMania weekend, available on all platforms.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. So have a good night, guys. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.